Planting the church amongst the unreached is probably the biggest singular task that remains for the global body of Christ. 40% of the world remains glory void. No representation of the body of Christ. So where does church planting fall into that? Well, the church is the visible group of disciples in a particular culture. So while disciples might be invisible, the church is visible. It's through the church that God chooses to exist and to demonstrate His glory in society. Church planting looks different in an unreached people group than it does in America. Generally, when we talk about planting a church, we're talking about buying a piece of property and building a building that people would come to. In an unreached people group, because of restrictions that are imposed by government and oppressive religious systems, we're not talking about buildings. We're talking about the body of Christ. We're talking about first century apostolic church groups gathering together where they share a meal, where they get to know each other, where the gifts of the Spirit are in operation every day. We're talking about living stones. Whenever a church is planted, no matter where it's at in the world, there are always challenges. In the West, we plant a church, but we have a history of Christianity to lean into. You don't have that amongst an unreached people group. This may be the first expression of the body of Christ in a language group. That's incredibly exciting to think about, and with it comes a lot of challenges. The unreached remain unreached for a reason. They're difficult to get to. They live in spiritually hostile environments. When the gospel is proclaimed, when the church is built, it almost always leads to persecution. So how do we overcome that? We overcome that by people like you joining with us in concerted, intentional prayer, praying for the unreached, praying that Jesus will glorify Himself amongst these people, praying that the church will stand strong in persecution, and praying that we will be effective as we come alongside our brothers and sisters around the world. We would ask that if God would lay it on your heart, that you would continue to support this ministry financially so we can plant the church where it doesn't exist, we can advocate for it where it's weak, and we can partner with it where it's strong to see Jesus glorified amongst the nations.